Peace be with you, brother.
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Let's hope things will
This is the
settle down
garden,
a bit around here.
a place for silent contemplation.
You mean
and
after the
meditation.
Tarnberg attack on the brigand's secret camp?
Centuries
I
ago,
wouldn't expect too
this
much
monastery
of it.
was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work.
As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, you are the circuitous. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest.
Tell me something about
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you...
What are the roles of the
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished...
Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, prayer.
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking...
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask...
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you something. Can you tell me something about the rule?
7 centuries ago, the fundamental...
Do you never want to know what's going...
And what should...
I'm looking for some...
And what would...
I'm looking for
Lock picks?
What's it to you?
Peace, brother. There's no need to get all... So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't save... Talk to me, brother.
I'm looking for some...
And...
I'm looking...
Lock?
What's it to...
Peace? I'll...
God be with you.
More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. You have no respect for right
God be with you.
Things will get worse. Feel it in my joints.
The things you say.
Salve Domine.
God be with you.
Silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time...
I'm Gregor, and I'm new.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their...
when it's not the way it should...
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment.
Idleness is the enemy.
I'd like to ask...
Therefore, the brethren should be occupied at certain times in manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that end, we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from the line of about the 4th hour. From the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and of heart. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works.
What would you like?
And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders. Not corrected with
Let's have a word.
Sure,
again,
why?
Beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint
Tough luck.
Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For in the disciple obeys in will and purpose, not necessarily simply in his heart.
Praise be to Christ.
Who sees that his heart is murmuring, and who being reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
I'm Gregor.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Concoct 2 buck's blood potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let... What do you desire?
Is there any way I could help you get elected?
What would you like to do? Climb up the...
Not exactly. You do have an...
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery.
Should I find out for you what's going...
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy...
Very good then.
Thank you, brother. What trouble?
What do you want me to find?
I'd be interested to hear about any iniquity in the monastery.